you want to say? What wasn't said in previous cinematic interpretations that you wanted to do?
The main thing is how do you make it yours? Just by making yourself available emotionally and sincerely through the material. Mm-hmm. You're going to lend it your voice. And the reality is, for many, many years, I tried to do it about my father and me as a son. Uh-huh. And then, at one point, I realized that with 2 kids, I was already not just a son, I was a father. And I tried to do it about both fathers, him and me, and sort of generational pain and this and that, but also about forgiveness, which became, as you cross the line of 50, you start thinking about that. She is not a Catholic. She is 19 when she writes the novel. I'm a Catholic. I'm in my 60s, and how do you fuse those two souls? Well, through decades. I mean, the movie is as much a biography for me, emotionally, as it was for her. Now, they're going to be different because we're different, but the essence is that. What makes us human? Also, back then, it was a big business to write books about travel because most people didn't leave England. Mm-hmm. So, she wrote about traveling. She wrote about traveling on Frankenstein, basically, an itinerary that they did. Mm-hmm. Also, the links in Europe were so strong. Her mother had been in the French Revolution. During the Battle of Waterloo, at the end, Byron was riding on a horse, and he wrote that beautiful poem, which is quoted at the end of the film. So Europe and England had a very tense but fruitful relationship.
You read the script and you begin crying.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah, talk about it.
Call me out on that one.
Yeah.
It's a softie. We read I think it was the first 30 pages.
And the last.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was exactly. It was like 30 pages. So the 2 acts, the beginning and the end. And it's what Guillermo talked about, is this moment of forgiveness. And, we came together over it all, just speaking about our past and our fathers and our family and, all the pain and joy and challenges of that. And so when we decided we were going to do this together, it was a couple years, or about a year before these pages came out. And so,
2 years for the whole thing.
Yeah, and then another 2 years for the whole thing. But so there's always this thing in the back of our mind. I was like, is this going to actually happen? Was he just having an aneurysm? Is it true? And so to sit there and read this and it to have all the emotional impact of when you hope that this could be something really special, then to see it there on the page, sitting next to each other, it was a really incredible moment.
Tell me about preparing for this. It's a largely silent role.
I mean, it was all quite unspecific, and if you can kind of employ the subconscious, I feel like that was what I was actively trying to do the whole time, was sort of let go and not, break the script down and trying to be all sort of technical about delivery or how you're moving, because it kind of would have been counterintuitive to playing a creature, this thing that comes from nothing. So I didn't do nothing, but I tried to welcome nothing, if that makes any sense at all.
I guess I kind of went through an opposite process to Jacob, where I actually did so much before ever getting to Toronto, and I would meet, certain people, and I was going to this church and reading these books, and I was just doing a lot, but I wasn't actually getting anywhere with it. I found it incredibly frustrating and scary. And then I got to Toronto, and I kind of realized that, the less that I do, the better. And like when I'm able to get really quiet and most aligned with, my most authentic self, and kind of be true to that and be in service of others, I found that very helpful when I was there for other people and like trying to be a protector, provider in some way. So that, with the costume, is when I finally started to feel like, there she is. But she was a very elusive character that she was like smoke to me. I would have her for a moment, and then she was gone.
Well, the actor needs to prepare himself. That's I recommend that to every actor, to kind of come to the set prepared, because then he has something to work with. If you come with nothing, so what he is close, but he's not exactly God who creates from nothing,
The back of my chest.
So we all read the script. lucky circumstances provided for the author at the same time, to be available at all times. It's really, work as it should be. No mystery, no miracles to be expected. But
Or enthusiasm.
oh no, don't go that far. but it's good work, very concrete, very precise, very to the point, very tangible, and really like a shoot should happen.
Well, the main thing is emotion. I mean, the first thing is when you take a book that has been adapted over 100 times, and it's been alive for hundreds of years, you want it to feel fresh, and you want it to feel about today. You want it to be about emotion. Can they look at it? One of the tasks that I had was, can we make it modern? The title of the book is The Modern Prometheus, Frankenstein or The Modern Prometheus. And can it make it feel new? Even if you know the text, the characters, the relationships, it's been adapted to be completely new, meaning the tangents of the story go in a different way, the relationships are different, but can it be both the book and something new? That's the biggest task, which I faced in the past, particularly with Pinocchio. When you have, again, a text that is so old and has to be so new. And the main thing is, if we do our job right, everyone, then you have clashing vectors emotionally from every character going in a different direction than the person next to them. You expect it to be symphonically beautiful. You'll hear the overture, you'll hear the largos, and if you go with them, you'll realize the movie has been renewed by these emotions.